Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Hades Star video. Today we will not be looking at a white star, but instead go over all of the support modules, shown here. I will be analyzing these in the form of a tier list. S rank is modules that would be useful in any star at any level. A rank include modules that are really good but fail to be competitive in one or more of the star types. B rank modules are super effective but very situational, meaning they only work very well in certain situations. And C rank is modules that are only useful at high levels, and D ranks are just completely useless modules. Don't get them. Okay, so let's start with the first module in the game, EMP. For EMP, we will put it at a B rank situation because while it is super helpful in low-leveled red stars, it's difficult to use at more advanced levels of red stars. And with the new blue star changes, it's essentially useless in blue stars too now. And in white stars, it is also not that important. It gets outclassed by barrier completely, and its only use is to stop friendly ships from moving into a bad situation. Next up is teleport, and we give teleport an S rank because it is so needed for any red stars level 7 or above, because it will let you go into combat at the perfect situation, put your ships at the perfect place, and it is also necessary for transports to pick up artifacts. And teleport is also very useful in all levels of blue stars, for it allows you to dodge Cyberus and misdirect them into your enemies and then kill them that way. And teleport is also useful in white stars because it allows your entire team to essentially reposition, to maneuver, and it just opens up so many possibilities in so many stars that we have to give it an S rank. Red Star Life Extender gets a B rank, for while it is super helpful in red stars, allowing you to extend your star's lifespan for minutes at a time, it is not usable at all in any other form of stars, thus making it have a maximum potential of B rank. Remote repair is next, and we give it a C rank because it is helpful to heal massive amounts of hull health at high levels. But other than that, well, other mods are more effective. Like Salvage is better in red stars, and when you're in combat at blue and white stars, you don't really have time to repair your ship. It's more imperative that you have damage or prevent damage. It's more imperative that you have mods that deal a lot of damage, such as, say, rockets or Destiny Vengeance, or have some mods that prevent damage, such as Stealth or Fortify. Remote repair it has never been the difference between a victory and a defeat. So that's why it's not that useful, and that's why it has a C rank. Next up is Time Warp. And we give Time Warp an S rank because Time Warp allows you to get almost double the amount of shields because it makes your shield cooldown quicker, right? And it gives a massive boost to efficiency in all types of stars. It helps you kill enemies quicker in blue stars and in red stars, and it helps your ships move much faster, load relics much faster in white stars. And it's just generally a good mod that everyone should have, and that is just super efficient, super good in all stars. So yeah, S rank, no doubt. Okay, so the next one, my rank might give a bit of controversy because some people like it, but I'm gonna have to give Unity a D rank because I don't want people to waste time with this module because of two main reasons. First of all, other modules greatly outdamage and works better for DPS ships, right? Because Unity, you have to have your allies with you. However, in Red Stars, it's not really important because in an efficient Red Star, you want everyone to be clearing different sectors to make it quick. And in blue stars, what's the point? What's the point of unity in blue stars? You're fighting for yourself, right? And its only use would be in certain white stars, and many people deem it useless because um, high level combat is based more on explosives than rather than shooting at each other. And there's different types of logistics in high level red stars. So it's and at low level red stars, you can't coordinate enough to use it to its potential. So I'd have to give it a D rank because it's just not as efficient. Okay, I know I said two main reasons, but whatever, whatever. Okay, so next one would be Sanctuary, and we give Sanctuary, excuse me, long day, but we give Sanctuary a B rank because while it's needed for all types of red stars, right? Because like you're saving your ships, you don't want to risk anything there, but it's practically useless in blue stars, and it's even more useless in white stars because in those two types of stars, you don't really want to save your ship. You're going for the win there, right? And having something that saves your ship instead of dealing extra damage or saving your allies' ships or something, it's just not worth it. So once again, very efficient in or very effective in red stars, but that's the only star that is good at. Next up is stealth, and stealth is another one of those modules that I just say don't waste your time on, right? Because it's useful in very specific situations, but those situations are so specific that like the general populace shouldn't need stealth. Like maybe one or two like people in your corp doing white stars should get it, but once again, other modules are so much better, like Fortify and stuff, like and like for example, if one is looking for like escaping, you could use teleport, you could use impulse, right? Um, and if you're looking to not get shot at, or if you're looking to survive longer, well, you can use Fortify and stuff, right? So yeah, we're gonna have to give it a D rank. Fortify gets an S rank because it is one of the most important defensive modules, and it just increases your general fleet's defensive capabilities tenfold, right? Because you can force Cyberus to fire at you instead of firing it at your allies. It basically just gives your ship bonus health, bonus hull, bonus shields. It's just a really good module overall and works in all stars. Next up is Impulse. And for Impulse, we give it a C rank because here's the thing, right? It works really good in situations in white stars where you're trying to make a mad dash for the transports, right? But the thing is, it's kind of useless in red stars, and it's even more useless. Okay, it's kind of useless in blue stars, excuse me, and it's even more useless in red stars because it's just not like there's no point on having it in those two stars, right? Like teleport works much better in those, and impulse just doesn't have a place where it's better than any other mod in red stars and blue stars. So since it's only useful in white stars, we're gonna have to give it a C rank, and it's not even that useful. It's only useful for certain ships. So yeah. Okay, next up, Alpha Rocket, another C rank. If you're looking for good explosives, Vengeance and Destiny does it better, right? And the thing is, sure, while Alpha has a bigger range, it's so easily destroyed. Its hit points is so low that it just takes one or two shots from a strong capital ship to destroy it, right? And mass battery just cancels it. So later, Omega Rocket outdamages and Delta Rocket outmaneuvers. So while Alpha may be good for some low level players, in the long run, it just gets outclassed by others, right? So I'm gonna have to give it a C rank. Next up, Salvage. B tier, absolute B tier, because it is very helpful and very necessary for red star battleships because clearing Cybers can basically heal your ships all the way up to full health. But the thing is, in blue stars it's useless, and in white stars is even more so. And when I say useless, sure, it might heal you somewhat, right? But remote repair does a much better job of that in both blue and white stars where you're not getting as many kills. So yeah, Salvage B tier because of its capabilities in red star, and there we go. Next up is Suppress, A rank. And the reason why Suppress is A rank is because it's really good at stopping lasers, like resetting their rockets, and it's just such a good module to save your ships in both red stars and blue stars, and it's a good deterrent in white stars, right? Have a couple ships with Suppress, your enemies won't come and fight because they know like they can't even fire at you because you have Suppress. However, the only reason Suppress is not an S rank is because some other modules are more widely used, and like it's not that good in blue stars. So we're gonna have to only give it an A rank. Feels bad, man. Okay, Destiny is next, and well, Destiny is one of my favorite modules, and I'm gonna give it an S rank, not because it's one of my favorite modules, but because of how good it is. You want instant explosive damage? Well, you got it. You want an escape? Well, you got it. Well, you want to play the lottery? Well, you have it too. This module could literally screw you over, but it is also the difference between a victory or defeat in so many blue stars and white stars, right? And it helps, like, and in red stars it's also useful because there's this mission that gives there's this quest, right, that requires destiny, so I'd recommend you get it because the quest does give a pretty good reward. And the reason why I love destiny so much is because it's an instant explosion that there's basically no counterplay to. They can't do anything to stop you, right? And if you're in a tight spot, use it and you get teleported to a random spot that's not where you are right now. Oh, well, it could be where you are right now, but it's highly improbable. So yeah, that's why I love this module. Barrier is next, and I'm also going to give it an S tier because it's basically a better version of EMP, right? Because the thing about Barrier is that it stops all your enemies in their tracks and allows your team to reposition, right? And the best part of it is that you get to fire upon your enemy ships. However, you can say, but Barrier also allows the enemies to fire upon you. And while that is true, barrier range is longer than a battleship's range. So for us to use or for us to use barrier would mean that we can move away from their battleship range and get out of fire that way. So it's good defensively, it's good offensively, and it's just good all around. So definitely easy S tier. Vengeance is the next module, and it is A tier because it is one of the most powerful explosives in the game. And combined with Destiny, allows you to essentially one shot other players, right? And it is useful in All Stars, but it's not S tier because the thing is, it's counterable because your opponents can see the timer tick down on your Destiny, and it's also counterable as in if your hull gets too low, your opponents can use an explosive to burst you down, and before you can activate shield, and it's just countered that way. But otherwise, it's really good, so that's why it's an A tier. Okay, next up is Delta Rocket, and I'm gonna give Delta Rocket C tier because there's just no purpose for it, you know? And it's only not a D because some people like to use it to do some cheesy maneuvers. But the thing is, it's useless in red stars. It's even more useless in blue stars. And no self-respecting corp would not leave a ship to protect their miners. And so Delta Rocket becomes useless then because of its low hit points, right? Literally one shot by any like battleship, flagship, or anything. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a C tier for that. Okay, and so we are on to Leap. And Leap is B tier. And hear me out. A lot of you pro players will get really mad at me and say, oh, Leap is A tier, Leap is S tier. I'm good at the game, so my words hold weight. But the thing is, like, come on, dude. You know it's useless in red stars, and you know it's useless in blue stars. And I know you love to use it in white stars, but it's so useful there. Sure, sure, sure. It's so useful there, right? But it's useless in the two other stars. So, since this is an overall analysis, not just an analysis on white stars, Leap is B tier because of its uselessness in red and blue stars. And the reason why Leap is good is because in white stars, you can reposition your entire team in just a couple hours. And that is super powerful. So, yeah. Next up is Bond. And for Bond, we will give it an S tier because, well, who doesn't want to drag an enemy ship along, right? Like, Bond is super powerful because it allows you to force an enemy ship into a position they don't want to be in. And it is one of the best modules in the game because of its potential, right? You can drag a Cyberus ship into a place to barrage it down. You can push an opponent into a collapsing blue star. You can teleport and then bond an enemy team's battleship directly into your allies, killing it extremely quickly. So this is probably the easiest decision I've had to make so far. Easy S rank. Okay, so the next four modules, I had to ask some higher level players for advice. I had to like basically beg them. I'm like, please, please, give me some knowledge, please. And they're like, fine, and toss me a few scraps, right? So what they told me was this: Alpha Drone D tier because it's completely useless, right? Doesn't do enough damage. It doesn't do anything. Like the Alpha Drone Leap strategy has been nerfed significantly once Blue Stars had a rework, right? So it's pointless in basically every situation now. So don't get it. Throw it into the garbage bin. Get it out of here. Next up is Suspend. And Suspend is B tier because it's only useful at high levels, right? And we don't want to use it in blue or red stars, but it's really good in high level white star combat. However, the only reason, it's not a higher rank because of its uselessness in blue and red stars, and it's not a lower rank because it's really good at high levels and it's really good at high level combat. Okay, next one is Omega Rocket, and it is A tier because it's such a big damage. It's big boy damage, and it's so good in so many situations, right? But it's not an S tier because of its like slowness, right? And it's also not an S tier because it's such a late game item and it's so expensive that like sometimes alpha is better because it's less expensive, right? Okay, so finally, we're at the last module, Remote Bomb. And Remote Bomb is B tier because it's very effective for denying areas, but it's a 10 million unlock and it's way too expensive for the majority of the player base. So if you can get your hands on it, that's pretty nice, but otherwise, save your money for other things, right? So that's why it's B tier. It's good, but it's way too expensive. Okay, and that wraps up our video, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed. And before I conclude the video, I just want to thank two players for their helpfulness in assisting me to create this tier list. The first one is Someone Unknown. He helped with a lot of the modules to double check them and stuff. And then the next one is Wayne Grow. And both of these players are really good, really high level players that just helped me with this the script for this video. And I just want to say a sincere thank you. And so yeah, that's it. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.